very well-defined system, and it is getting stronger. It is getting a little bit better defined.
But isn't issues or ever come on spectrum? Ever like Fox 13 News? The Fox 13 News ever like this lakeside here
of the storm. So that is that strong wind shear that is still an issue for this system, just kind of displacing or making that storm more lopsided. You can almost think of it, it's leaning to one side. That's what's actually happening with this right now. So given that, it's really pretty impressive that it is strengthened as much as it has, since that center is really sitting over here. And it looks like for the time being, that wind shear is going to continue to be an issue. So yeah, we'll probably see maybe a little bit more strengthening, just because that has been the trend with this system. It has somehow found a way to overcome that, because it's gotten rid of a lot of that dry air that was an issue with it. It's kind of walled itself off. So it does look like maybe a little bit more strengthening, but you're not going to see that big ramp up in intensity. In fact, you look on that northern and northwestern side, that's where that strong wind shear is. Remember, that center is actually sitting over here. So it just kind of blows the top right off the storm, or at least pushes it over onto one side. And you notice, and remember, that forecast track is basically going in this direction. So it's going to continue to be dealing with some of this stronger wind shear as we go through really the next several days. But in its favor, we've got warm water. In fact, once it gets over into the Caribbean and over into this area, you see the darker colors, more of those purple shades, water gets even warmer. So there's plenty of energy to work with. It just has that dry, or the wind shear that it has to deal with over at least the next few days. Maybe towards the first part of next week, it looks like that wind shear might start to become less of an issue. But here's the 11 a.m. advisory right now. Top winds are at 50 miles an hour. It's moving right now to the west at 14 miles an hour. So a pretty good clip. And again, notice all that deep convection. There's the icon right there, sitting on that western side of the storm. So we do have watches and some warnings that have been issued across portions of the islands. And that idea is it will just continue on that westerly track over the next several days. Then it's always that question. And when it's making that turn, when is it exactly going to make that turn? And once again, here we are, really trying to focus and fine tune that turn of the system, because we've got this ridge which is to the north, and that will continue to steer it. But eventually that ridge, it starts to weaken a little bit. It gets a little bit of a weak area. It gets on the edge of it, which is going to allow it to turn more in that northerly direction. So the big key is, where does it make that turn? Because if it makes it later, it's heading over.
Now it comes to your first birthday to Lola. She likes to watch Mickey Mouse, and you go to Sands Park to see the bounce houses in Newport Richie. And she wants to go home and get ready for a nap. So happy first birthday to Sophie. She likes to watch JoJo's Circus theme song soundtrack, and you go to the circus to sing Hoop Jump. Happy first birthday. Birthday to Aubrey. Aubrey wants to go to the circus, and she wants to go see circus lions can smell the flowers. First birthday at Fox.com.